What is up there, beautiful people, and welcome to another edition of Just Trending News. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell so you're always notified when I upload new videos. So today we're speaking about none other than Dr Nandipha Magudumana. As you guys already know, she is due back in court today, obviously to appeal the matter with her unlawful, and I say this in air quotes, arrest in Tanzania, whatever you choose to call it, right? But the reason why we are speaking about her today is not because of that, but because of an article that was released by Times Live, okay? And this article basically alludes to the fact that Dr Nandipha Magudumana isn't really in a prison cell, but she is in the prison's hospital, which is vastly different in my opinion, okay? So I'm going to be reading or quoting from this article, and it says, Dr Nandipha Magudumana, who is being held in the hospital wing of the Correctional Center in Free State, is not receiving any special treatment but is kept in that section because of the ongoing investigations. This was revealed by Correctional Services National Commissioner Mahoti Toba Khale during his visit to the Hosi Mamburu Correctional Center on Thursday, where Thabo Bester is being held. He said he had earlier visited the Correctional Center in Kroonstad and confirmed that Magudumana was following the same programs as all the other offenders. She's eating the same food. I had a discussion with her because that's what we do when we visit correctional facilities. We check if offenders or remanded prisoners have complaints, and we check if their complaints are attended to, he said. He said she was kept in the prison's hospital section because of the ongoing investigations, that she is a high-profile offender who needed to be monitored at all times, and that it was a highly secure section where she doesn't have access or interaction with other offenders. The interaction with the officials is limited to those who work in that section. We are ensuring that at all times she is watched, and I want to repeat, as I have indicated with Mr. Bester, it is also to make sure that she doesn't harm herself, he said, okay? So he also added that the section wasn't a secluded, isolated section where she is alone, but she was with other offenders, and this is what he says. He says, the hospital section in the facility is still a cell. The only difference is that the number of beds is fewer. So she is with other offenders, he said, okay? So he also said that the correctional services was ensuring that she doesn't come into contact with contrabands or with any items that would jeopardize the case. He told the media that Facebook rapist and murderer Bester was kept in his cell, which is electronically operated through the integrated security system, all right? Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, in relation to the matter of Dr. Nandipha Magudumana, not being officially in a cell, a prison cell. He has actually just come out. The National Commissioner has come out to, in not so many words, but basically confirm the fact that she's not really where the other prisoners are. She is in an isolated section. That isolated section, I'm sure, is much better than the overcrowded section that most prisoners are subjected to in the Republic. Obviously, he said that the prison cell that she's currently being kept in is one that has fewer beds, so there is no overcrowding. She possibly does have a bed. She is comfortable in that cell, which might not necessarily have been the case if she was where the regular prisoners are also being kept. One thing that really baffled me with what he said was that they had to seclude her so that, she doesn't have access to contraband and cell phones, drugs, or whatever, and obviously those things are brought in, I'm assuming by other prisoners and are therefore traded or sold in prison, obviously in exchange for money, drugs, or whatever, right? But she is not completely being isolated in prison. So what they are essentially trying to avoid, and the justification for her being kept in the hospital wing of the prison, is not really being met, because she still has access to other prisoners. It might be fewer prisoners, but they have absolutely no guarantee that the prisoners that are being kept there are not actually being dealing with contraband. For me, I just believe that this is honestly in my personal opinion, guys, you can tell me if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying, but I just believe that this is just a way to sugarcoat or cover up the fact that she is actually receiving, to a certain extent, a special treatment. I think that's something that we can't argue against, but I think that they're coming at it with the justification that because she is a high-profile offender, she has to sort of be treated differently from other prisoners. I think we saw it from the time that she was actually being brought in from Tanzania when the chartered flight had just come into South Africa, and people could tell that she still had her cell phone on her. We also see it in the way that she's always looking so beautiful and so gorgeous, constantly rocking new hairstyles, looking literally better than most of us who are not even doing time in prison right now. And I think we've always asked ourselves, why and how is it possible that she comes out here or comes to these court appearances looking absolutely smashingly beautiful, looking well rested. It seemed as though she had time to do her makeup. She's very well presentable, and this is the answer to the question that we've been asking. It's because she is basically in a more convenient and a more comfortable part of the prison, right? So she doesn't really have to go through the hardships, in my personal opinion, that the other prisoners have to go through. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you think about this in the comment section, and I will see you in my next upload.